Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are here to preview the Italy versus Switzerland game. But before that, we have to discuss what we've just seen in terms of the Wales-Turkey game. Delighted that it's the Chief Scout, Mr. Steve K here. Steve, two questions. How are you? But what I think we all want to know is how you feeling after that game.
I'm very well. Thank you, Jerome. After that game, well, Euros just started, isn't it, for me? I mean, that had everything. That was the best game so far. And I go as far as that was the best performance so far. We've all got our different types of football that we love and what we enjoy watching. Wales' performance tonight, for me, was outstanding. 11 players, just 11 brothers fighting for each other. Nothing else on their mind but winning that game. And I'm an Englishman, but it actually did at the final whistle did give me goose pimples.
Yeah.
So that's to a degree of how much I enjoyed that game. Fantastic game, loads to talk about. But brilliant.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it does feel like the tournament started. I mean, I think you used the right word there, passion. It was like Wales played it like a Premier League game, like the intensity. And the first half an hour, I thought, God, Wales are playing well here, and then they just kept it going. They just did not stop, and thoroughly deserved the opening goal that Ramsey got. Terrific goal. I mean, he had a couple of chances before that. And before the game, we spoke about Turkey that, they weren't great against Italy, but we thought that maybe was because of Italy, the way that they played. But again, another not a great performance by them. But I guess once, like the Italy game, you got to give Wales all the credit. Like they were fantastic. I know it's like cliche, but every one of those players. Well, you can't fault any of them.
No.
I mean, any players that you want to pick? I know that we say they were all great, but any players you want to pick out at all?
Well, yeah. Firstly, they was all man to man, fantastic. I'll start off with someone we spoke about. In the preview, we spoke about Dan James.
Yeah.
You mentioned him, and you said that maybe if he was ticking, and he ran his socks off tonight. Like he run and run and run and run, and he give the Turkish defence a night that they won't want to go through again. He was excellent. Man of the match for me, if you can pick one, it's very difficult through there. But I mean, Aaron Ramsey. I mean, I know he missed a couple of chances, but other than that, he was absolutely incredible. And it just shows you that still on his day, he can still play that type of football. Gareth Bale, obviously, again was exceptional. He missed the penalty, and he did what world class players do. He just shrugged his shoulders, went on, and then said that he was going to tear. But he seemed to get more annoyed because he missed the penalty, and he just got better and better. And he made the goal when he made both goals, didn't he? But I thought Rondon at the back was fantastic tonight. He had to come up against the big Turkish forward, and he dealt with him brilliantly. Such a young man, fantastic, mate, fantastic performances.
Yeah, obviously I'm English, but definitely found myself, really cheering for Wales tonight, and I only felt that Turkey were going to score from maybe a couple of set pieces towards the end, but apart from that, they didn't really create create a lot of chances. I felt that the centre back of Spurs, Rodon,
Yeah.
he had, like you said, he was fantastic against that big centre forward from Turkey. Like it seemed, I wouldn't say it seemed easy for him, but it seemed very comfortable to defend against them. They didn't have a lot of pace going forward, Turkey, and they were amazing. I was a little bit worried when Bauer missed the penalty, because sometimes you get those things there, like they could be turning points in games. But it didn't, like you said, didn't bother him at all. If anything, they looked more dangerous after the penalty.
It looked like he just annoyed him. He just said, "You've annoyed me now. I've missed that penalty. Now I'm just going to go and get even better." And he did.
Yeah.
And he just, just nodded. I think someone said when he was walking back, give him a few words of encouragement, and he just nodded his head, and as if he said, "Well, I don't need that anyway."
That's it.
Yeah.
If I was one of Bale's teammates, then after he missed a penalty, I'd have gone straight up to him and said, "Mate, you're the reason. You're pretty much the reason we're here. Like, don't worry about it. Keep your head up. Just fill him with like confidence and make him feel good. Rather than having a go at him, because he's been such an important part of that team."
Yeah, I mean the fight, from them. I mean, it was just. I mean, the bit towards the end of the game where there was that little bit of a melee in the Welsh penalty area. I mean, I loved it. They was all on them. I mean, the Turkish still about like these are tough players. These Turkish players, they're. But those Welsh players were on them, and they were sticking up for their mate. And I love to see that, and I wish to see that of most teams. I mean, I always like to see when it's just, again, it's that passion. It's the will to win, and what better way to sort of shut them up than to go up the other end and just make it 2-0.
Yeah, I think it showed me this game. I think it anyway. But sometimes fans aren't really that. Sometimes they're not. They care more about their club side than the international side. Some fans, right. But what I think is that the players, I think they probably got more of a stronger feeling for their country than some of the clubs that they play for. Because you can move different clubs, you can play for 6-7 different clubs throughout your career, but really there's just one country, isn't there? And these, they're so patriotic. Some of the players that play for these countries, that I think the passion is probably one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things there is for these players.
Totally.
Amazing to see though. And Steve, you got a fancy? They're looking odds on to qualify now, aren't they, Wales?
Yeah, I think they're through. Something absolutely ridiculous has got to happen. For them not to go through.
Yeah.
They can't finish bottom for a start. And they've already won a game and they've drew a game. So something, they're through. They're through. They're through to the last 16, and good luck to them. And I certainly will be cheering them all the way.
Exactly, and I think a shout out as well to Joe Allen. Like no one ever mentions him, but he's so important in that midfield. Very underrated player, Joe Allen. I know he's maybe not the most fashionable or maybe popular, but I think he's very important for that team. Like in terms of keeping the ball. So in international football, you got to keep the ball. Otherwise you got no chance. But
he's sort of like Wales's version of Declan Rice, if you like. That player who don't get noticed, who just ticks things over, doesn't do nothing. I mean, obviously they're not on the same level as players, but he does that type of job. Because I mean, they took him off with about 70 minutes to go, didn't they, Joe Allen? And it was like, oh yeah, you've had a good game, but and everyone was sort of harping on and that, and what he does and how he goes unnoticed, and he just does
Yeah.
that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, top
Brilliant.
drawer.
But yeah, amazing. Amazing match. Really, really enjoyable. A bit like last night's one. Two cracking games. So, that we watched in quick succession. So that leads us on to the final game of the day, which is Italy versus Switzerland, which is due to kick off in about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Italy, I would say, big favourites for this game. One that you're looking forward to, Steve? Italy, Switzerland?
Yeah. I mean, Italy are my shout, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it. And after the Wales and Turkey game, I mean, it's a matter of go follow that, isn't it?
Yeah, big shoes. Big shoes to follow.
Big shoes to follow. But what that's done now by playing second is that although Italy had a good win on the opening day, they still have to win this game now.
Yeah.
They've got 3 points, but if Switzerland were to win, that would put them on 4 points and then drop Italy down to third.
Yeah.
And then you've got Wales have got Italy on the final game. So it's so funny. It's so how it can turn. It can just turn just like that. 1 minute you think it's safe, and the next minute you think. But I'm really, really looking forward. A lot of good players on the show tonight. Yeah.
I know. I think it looks like Immobile's starting up front for Italy. I know that's definitely a player you think maybe doesn't get talked about like he should in terms of his goal scoring record. I take it you might be tipping him to score tonight, Steve.
Yeah, I'm tipping him to score tonight. Again, I've probably bored people enough now by talking about him. I think he's a great player. I think he's a goal scorer, Jerome. He's a goal scorer, and any team, it's hard enough these days to find someone who's a goal scorer, and he certainly is one. And I got a funny feeling that after this tournament, there'd be maybe have a few clubs be knocking on Lazio's door. After his signature. But saying that, Switzerland again, we said it against Wales. They're no mugs. They're no mugs. It'd be a difficult game.
That's it. One obviously being the transfer exchange show. We have to mention we mentioned transfers. One player that's been spoken about in the press is Italy's midfielder Locatelli, who is very, very highly rated. Yeah. Have you seen much of him, Steve? Locatelli.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of him.
Yeah,
he's one of them players in the middle of the park who just can do everything. He always comes up with a goal. He's strong. He's always a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
he's never below that. I know quite a few Italian people that we talk to, Carlo and Jerry and Nima, all off the Italian podcast, and they rave about Immobile, and they say the same things as me. They, over in Italy, he doesn't really get talked about, and nobody knows really why. I mean, he had a couple of bad seasons in Germany, but I think it was Germany, but he had one bad season. But I mean, I'm sure that this guy's got to get picked up. No disrespect to Lazio at all, but he can certainly play at a bigger club. But Locatelli is a quality player. He's probably that. I admire Granit Xhaka, who's captain of Switzerland tonight. He would be that upgrade. That I wouldn't complain if Xhaka left, and then you would bring somewhere in on the lines of Locatelli. Yeah, because they're the same type of player. They do more or less the same things. So I'm interested to see the two tonight. Yeah, but he's just got that little bit extra. Yeah, he's an excellent player. Definitely one to watch tonight.
Yeah, there's a player for Switzerland that I'm surprised isn't starting. and that's their central midfielder, Dennis Zakaria. He
Yeah.
didn't start. He didn't start the last game either. So for me, that's unless either he's got a niggle, but I don't think he has because, as I say, he didn't start the last game. So I'm surprised to see that he's not playing.
Yeah, he came on, didn't he, as
Yeah,
as a substitute.
yeah,
I mean, he's wanted by a lot of clubs,
yeah.
and he's Mönchengladbach, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah,
Plays for Mönchengladbach,
yeah,
and I mean, Man City were linked with him.
yeah,
Bayern Munich have been linked with him, and he's a unit.
yeah,
He's a unit, and he's another one probably who could play for a better club for Mönchengladbach. There's another player playing for Switzerland. Again, I just can't work out why he's not playing, and that's
yeah,
Gavranic.
yeah,
He's their top goal scorer. He's their leading goal scorer. I've seen him play a couple of times. When I have been very impressive. He's on the bench again. He was on the bench against Wales. He came on
yeah.
and caused havoc. He scored a goal that was given offside by a toenail by VAR, and now
Yeah,
he's back on the bench again. So
yeah,
I'm a bit surprised about that because other than that, they haven't got much on the bench.
yeah,
Chase is on the bench tonight for Italy, so it'd be good to see if he comes on.
yeah, yeah. What are your predictions then, Steve? How do you think this one's going to go?
I can't see much past an Italy win.
Yeah,
I really can't. If they tick like the way that they did against Turkey, then I find it hard for Switzerland's defenders to stop. Italy's forwards of Immobile, Insigne, and
yeah,
the other guy Barani.
yeah,
So yeah, I can't see much past them.
yeah,
Especially with the guy who I think should be playing as a centre forward on the bench. So I'm going to go for quite another emphatic win.
yeah,
I'm going to go for a 3-0, another
yeah,
3-0.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. I think Italy will have a lot of the ball tonight. I think Jorginho will probably have, the highest amount of touches on the pitch, like he normally does. And I do think Switzerland will struggle tonight, especially against it. They got obviously against Italy's defence and goalkeeper. They got to do something special to score, haven't they? So I'm with you. I think Italy. Things with Italy, they just need a goal, don't they? They don't even need to win 2 or 3 with that defence. One goal will do the job for them. But yeah, I reckon 1, maybe 1 or 2-0. Let's have a quick little look at some comments.
Big up, lads. J-Bo and SK.
Hello,
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
Hello. Thank you very much. So yeah, there we have it. So amazing match we've just watched with the Welsh game, and now we move on to the Italy-Switzerland game, and yeah, there we go. Steve, any closing remarks, or just looking forward to the game now?
No, just looking forward to the game. Just hopefully it's just exciting as the last one we just watched, or even half as exciting as that. If not, if it is, then we're going to have a good night,
That's
by the
it.
telly, by the TV.
Exactly. Superb. Yeah. Rightio. Steve, superb as always. Thanks again.
Cheers, Jerome. Pleasure.
And we'll catch up with everyone soon, and enjoy another day of football. So from us at the Transfer Exchange Show, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys shortly. Goodbye.
Cheers.